1st through 5th grade, I was kind of a nerdy guy, wasn't popular at all, and had big glasses. I was just an ugly-looking kid. I was kind of a nerdy type until about 5th grade. I got contacts, and it kind of gave me a little bit of confidence. I did grow up in a divorce home. I hated going back and forth because I lived with my mom during the whole time of the week, and then the weekend I had to go stay with my dad. I had a bunch of friends that didn't grow up in divorced families and didn't grow up in a divided home, so I really was the only one that had to do that. So it was kind of, I had to have friends during the week and then different friends during the weekend. Before the age of 16, I was actually molested twice. Both of them were by two men that I trusted in my church that I was close to. I didn't really know what was going on, didn't know what was really happening. I knew that it wasn't right, but I also didn't want to tell any of my friends. I didn't want to tell my mom. I didn't want to tell my dad because I was scared what people would think about me. I can remember, man, it was a huge change in my life because after that, I knew that it wasn't my fault, you know, and I didn't blame God for it, but it was something that still happened to me and that He let happen to me. And I remember being bitter about it, man. I remember it putting thoughts in my mind about, you know, homosexuality. I knew that I wasn't gay. I knew without a shadow of a doubt that I wasn't gay. But I remember the battles in my mind that the devil would put there inside of me. Since it was two men, the battles in my mind weren't so much that I was gay or that I felt gay. It was the fact that someone had pushed that on me. I was very sensitive. I was more aware when I walked into a crowded men's restroom at a college basketball game, or when I went into a locker room after PE with all the guys and everybody's in there changing. But to push those feelings away, I remember, you know, when I got to be about 16, I started able to drive. I was hooking up with girls more. I was partying, drinking, trying to push those feelings away and get those thoughts out of my mind because I hadn't told anybody. I kept it a secret. I didn't tell a soul. And I remember this one specific time, this girl called me up, wanted to hang out. She was a good, godly girl, but I thought for sure I'm about to hook up with this girl. And I got excited. She told me we were going to go to a party. So I remember hopping in a car and driving down the road. I'm excited. I'm like, this has got to be the craziest party ever on a Tuesday night. And I remember pulling up a street, and there were cars everywhere. It was packed. I remember walking through the front door, and she kind of introduced me to a couple of people, and I was like, you know, these guys are cool, you know. And I recognized some of them from, you know, the people I used to party with, but I hadn't seen them in a while. And I remember she kind of left me, so I started looking around for the alcohol. Didn't see any alcohol, so I decided, well, maybe it's all downstairs. So I started to walk down the steps, and I remember when I walked down there, the atmosphere kind of changed. It started to get a little different. And I remember getting to the bottom of the steps, and I saw about 250 people worshiping God with everything they had. I remember the feeling of God, Him wrapping His arms around me, and every bit of insecurity I had from being molested or drinking, or all the times I'd hooked up with girls had gone away. He healed me of every fear, every doubt, every insecurity I'd ever had. I knew that God had me. I knew He had plans for me. I knew He had a future for me. And man, just to feel that security, there was no other feeling like it. So I mean, I was willing to give up anything. And I knew right then that God was real, Jesus was real, and that I was going to serve Him for the rest of my life.